Namaste. Time to celebrate this channel reaching 1000 wonderful subscribers. Tack så mycket. Arigato gozaimasu. With a story time about my life as a fan of Lego, and I've shot some video of the current state of Seoul Town with some trains running for your viewing pleasure. Reaching 1000 subscribers is one of the most important YouTube milestones. This means that I can start earning money from the ads on my videos and that kind of nonsense, so like and subscribe. And if I actually do make any money on the YouTubes, I will try to convert that into more Lego toys and stuff related to this channel, like maybe a nice shirt or a haircut done by a professional. I want to look good for you guys so that I can be that dream A-full everyone wants in their life. I got my first Lego set when I was 2 years old. It was set 6382 Fire Station from 1981. My parents didn't believe in Duplo at the time, so I got the real system Lego from the get-go. Now I would love to hear what was your first set, so hit that comment section and tell me. Growing up, I thought the amount of pieces I got from that set was enormous. It had 390 pieces in total, and I rebuilt it into all kinds of things, like boats, villas, red castles, and so on. That was the start of my mocking, and as many of you already know, I have troubles with keeping sets intact. I'm going to roll some images of the sets I had as a kid, and comment if you had some of the same ones. I always have an urge to take all my sets apart, sort them into bins by shape and color, and then make something new from those parts. I think a large reason for that was that I grew up with a limited amount of sets. Now I thought I had a lot of Lego as a kid, and by the 80s standard I probably did, at least if I compare myself to friends at the time. We grew up in the working class suburb part of the Million Program, an ambitious public housing program implemented in Sweden between 1965 and 1974 by the governing Swedish Social Democratic Party to make sure everyone could have a home of good standards and a reasonable price. And everyone I knew was from that working class, and most were part of immigrant families. So it wasn't like anyone had a lot of money to spend on this very expensive premium toy. As an adult, I've managed to move to the middle class due to college being free in Sweden, and I have a lot of friends now that are middle class, and their kids who might not even consider themselves being into Lego has almost as much Lego as I have now as an adult. So that's some perspective on things. For my 7th birthday, I got a really expensive set, 6080 King's Castle from 1984. The deal with my mother was that I could never take it apart. And man, did I want to. So after a year or so, I sold it by letting some friends of mine disassemble it. Technically, I didn't tell them to do so, but I knew that these two guys like to crash stuff, so I did let them play with the set with that in mind. Kids are kind of smart. Nowadays, I do keep it built up in a storage bin, and I bought a second one as well, just as a spare. My third epic set I ever got as a kid was for Christmas when I was 8 years old. Set 6285 Black Seas Barracuda. And man, that set was insane to me. The ship itself is of course an instant classic, and I had so much fun with it. I used to tip it over to the side and play Shipwreck. In time that set also got taken apart, but I did manage to build it back in shape a couple of years ago, so that's also in storage right now. I never had a real dark age, so even if I only got 3 large sets growing up, I did get a lot of smaller ones, as you could see. And I used a lot of my allowance to buy sets for myself. And in 1999, when I turned 18, I became an A-full, an adult fan of Lego. I was still in high school, but I had a summer job that year, and most of that money went into getting hammered at bars and buying Lego sets, like all of the Star Wars sets that came out that year. So I want to thank you. I did it all with the help from my peers. All I got it from the help of this wonderful community. I want to thank you for all your love and support. I never made it. No, if my father never made me do sports. And I'm so glad I never wandered down the wrong path and ended up some kind of addict or a loser or some kind of psychopath. With that said, make sure to stay out of the nonsense, stay awesome, and please subscribe.